Welcome to the How to Play video for DrinkAge, the RPG drinking card game. DrinkAge is a party game for 2 to 8 players, with each round taking about 45 minutes to play. The goal of the game is to defeat the boss of the chosen quest location. On the way, players will encounter many monsters, challenges, and perils that will test their hero's strength, fortitude, intellect, and charm. If the player is victorious in their adventures, they will earn many riches, weapons, and items to use against other players. In defeat, however, the player will often be required to drink. When the game starts, players will choose a quest location, such as the Tipsy Meadows. The boss of the quest, in this case the Cyclops, will be placed at the very bottom of the deck. Players will then proceed to choosing their class. All class cards are turned face down, and each player will take turns selecting a class card at random. Turn order will be decided by dice roll, with any ties settled by re-rolling. Each class will have a different value for strength, fortitude, intellect, and charm. Each class will also have a unique special ability. The Gladiator, for example, receives an extra gold coin when he beats an event. However, whenever he fails, he will be required to take an extra drink. Each turn, players will draw from the event deck. Each encounter will have both a victory prize and a defeat requirement. The Imperial Guard, for example, rewards the player with 1 gold coin if they win, or requires them to take 3 mouthfuls of their drink if they lose. Each event will have 2 alternative ways to beat it. For this event, players are pulled aside on the street by a suspicious city soldier. Players may choose to provide identification to the guard, which requires an intellect check of 6, or convince him of your innocence with a charm check of 7. To make a successful check, the player must add to their attribute with a dice roll. The Scout, for example, has an intellect value of 3. If the player was to choose the intellect check to beat this event, they would have to roll a 3 or higher with the dice. If the player succeeds in doing so, they will receive the victory prize of 1 gold coin. However, if they roll less than a 3, they will lose against the event and would have to take 3 mouthfuls from their drink. Every class will have different strength, fortitude, intellect, and charm values. Where one event may be difficult for one class, it may be easy to beat for another. Some events may have a difficult skill check with a treasure icon next to it. If a player chooses this skill check and beats it, they will receive a bonus card from the item deck for them to use at any time. The Bard, for example, has a high charm value of 4. In order to counter-seduce the Siren, he would have to roll a 4 or higher. If he wins, he will win both 3 gold coins and the bonus item card. However, if he loses, he will be required to take 5 mouthfuls from his drink. Occasionally, the defeat requirement for an event will be something other than chugging your drink. Some cards may require you to surrender gold coins, or even an item card if you lose. And if you are unfortunate enough to lose against an event card, such as the Wyvern, you will be required to take a shot instead. Once every player has had their turn, an auction will take place. Draw a card from the item deck and show it face up to all the other players. Players can now bid on the item drawn, using their gold that they've won and saved up from the events. The winning bid forfeits the gold and receives the item. Any ties or disputes will be resolved by a dice roll. For every 3 players in the game, an additional auction item will be drawn. All items have a unique power and a number of uses. The Cursed Goblet card, for example, allows the players to drink from his cup, and in return all other players must also drink the same. It has 2 uses, so the player may use it over 2 turns, or save it for a later time in the game. Items generally give an advantage to the player who has it. The Explosive Arrow card, for example, allows you to command a player to put a nip of spirits into their current drink. Finally, when the players reach the bottom of the deck, the last card they draw will be the boss. This epic encounter will involve all players who will take turns starting with the player who drew the card. Each player will attempt to attack the boss by rolling the die. The Cyclops, for example, requires 6 successful hits before it is felled. If a player rolls 4 or higher, they will reduce its health points by 1. If they roll 3 or lower, they will miss, requiring them to take 3 mouthfuls of their drink and all other players to take 1 mouthful. Once the boss is defeated, players will count up their events to see who won the most and then head out to the pub. Or better yet, choose another quest location and keep playing.